Islam Tribe? It's your boy Noble. I'm here with the Chicago Moors, and we finna talk about this color game we playing, as well as the sea of commerce that we forced into. I'm gonna try and get into it and make it as easy to understand as I can. But first, look at this on this board. Person is a corporation, and it is not the same as people. So keep that in mind. That's a little bit of legalese for you. So I know a lot of our people is suffering in what we call the sea of commerce. People who know about it, especially if they identify as black, or they have their estate is identified as black in these people's system. That's what I think is the real problem. One of the real problems. So our people actually think they are the name. They think they are the straw man, which mean they unconscious, which mean they incompetent. We actually calling ourselves minorities. We going to vote for these people, corporation, presidents and governors and whatever. Like, we doing all the slave activity, and then we come back crying over the slave treatment when somebody show us the truth of it. When they actually come out, and treat you like a slave, nonchalantly. That's why people don't like Trump. I don't like him neither. I don't like him or dislike him. I just look at what, the actions of what people doing. But that's one of the main problems for our people. And then these other people trick too. Like, all the color game, I'm finna go through it. All of them is slaves. All of them is vessels. The thing is, they supposed to be our slaves. We go around and say ourselves Lord Master. So when I look up the definition of Malik, a master, it says, it's talking about basically a owner of something, someone that has a relationship to something, like a owner of some property, like a master and a slave. And that's what that name is. It's our portion of the estate. But our people think they the name, because we playing the color game. And our people got the worst status for their estate in this color game because it's labeled black. And if you go to census.gov, then the race portion, they gonna tell you the definitions of these races. Now you'll have to look it up yourself. I don't know if I got enough room on this board to put everything up there, but go look up the definitions. The one for black is the only one. Now, first of all, they saying the census is coming up, right? And you gotta put one of these straw man categories, one of these colors on there for your straw man. Because according to Donald Trump, he made an executive order last year, July 11th, 2019, saying he wants citizenship data on 100% of all persons in the corporation, meaning all businesses, all corporations, small, in the big corporation. They want to know who you with, so it's a lot of Moors even that's scared to do this census. And I'm saying, like I always say, I'm gonna do it. You don't have to do it, but I'm just gonna tell you my view on it, so you can have a conscious decision. Because it kills me when I see Moors talking about stuff gonna sell you back into slavery. And I'm like, we already got sold back. Like, how you think we got portions of the estate now? We not using gold and silver now. Like, you can't enforce unalienable rights right now. Like, we not in a republic. And some Moors want to say we are because they done did a process and they doing certain things. And them be the same ones that's trying to tell you gotta go straight through them. You can't do it yourself. But we all saying ourselves Lord Master. So remember, a person is a corporation when you read these documents. Just anywhere. When you fill out job application, anywhere you look and you see that word, it's talking business now. Now we talking about leasing your slave out. That's what we talking about. When you go and put that name and sign for that name, and sign for that credit card, you leasing your slave for the credit or for the job or whatever. That's what's going up. That's what's doing the business. Even when you go to court, they charging the slave. And if the slave can't pay, you gonna be the surety. So, Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 3, Constitution is why they saying they doing this census. They want to count the persons, the corporations within the business. So you got free persons, Indians, non-taxing, and you got all others 3/5. And if you look on this census, you got the whites, which got origins. Every group got origins in the original people, except for the black. So the black is your 3/5. See, it's not talking about the skin color, it's talking about the status of your estate. It's talking about the consciousness of the person, of the original people that the person have origins in. Because if the original people is conscious, they gonna update that person because that's their estate. They gonna come claim it. Like it's saying Article 22 of our Treaty of Peace and Friendship, when the heir when the heir appear to the estate, it should go to him without interruption. So in Article 1, Section 2, Paragraph 3, it says the Indian is non-tax because he's foreign, or he's supposed to be foreign. So that on this census you got American Indian. That's the straw for the original, for the person, the corporation, the piece of paper that has origins in the original people of North, Central, South America. Moors are the original people of North, Central, South America. That's why I say I'm in the process of updating my straw to American Indian, and I'm not using white because that census is coming up. And white is going to tie your estate to the original people of North Africa, Southern Europe, and the Middle East. So if everybody had to get their ass back to their original, because you're really making yourself an immigrant if you do that now. Because this sense you got to put one of them countries over there. So if that's your country of origin, that's your nationality now. You're not an American. Can't be white and be an American. Not on this census. When you put in one of them countries over there, why you think all these Caucasians is antsy about this new census? Now their heritage got to cut. Now we got to find out they not Americans. They immigrants. And then, like I say, Trump did executive order. Let me go to this executive order real quick. He did an executive order, and it sounded like he watched one of my Facebook lives because he on here. But he did this before I even knew about it. So no, it sounded like I got up on him. But he ain't here talking about non-immigrant. He ain't here talking about qualified aliens, which is in 8 U.S. Code 1641 definitions. And a qualified alien is not a U.S. citizen. An alien is not a U.S. citizen or a national of the United States. So a qualified alien is an alien who is qualified to use that estate. That's what Moors are. And we fall under it, under 8 U.S. Code 1101, 15E. So let me put that up there for you, just in case y'all want to look that up. One and 1101. Just look up the definitions and go through them, like, because you need to get familiar with these terms anyway. Now these are the games that we stuck in. So I know it's still some black people might be watching that can't understand, because we done grew up, and I'm not no different. I didn't grow up as a Moor. I grew up in a Christian household like the majority of us. I'm just not the type of person that hear truth and turn away. See, in Arabic they call that, in religion they call that kafir, And I ain't trying to be religious with this anyway, because I can't meet you on religion. I can't meet you on the feminine principle, because we all can believe some stuff. You know, I can't meet you on that circle. I gotta meet you on this square. I gotta meet you on facts. You know, and then you can translate that however you want. So, in his is this executive order? In this executive order, President Trump, and his day president, we don't, and it's all different type of Moors that operate different ways. I ain't gonna say who wrong and who, we got our way and I got my way. That's what's good about what we do. That's what's good about Islam. You do what you do, I do what I do. As long as I don't injure you or your property, we good. So they president. The president, they de facto. The government, people act like de facto mean like it don't matter. De facto mean, in fact, this who running it. So it's a de facto, it's bogus. They took over, it's martial law, all that. In case y'all didn't know, since 1861, when Congress adjourned Sine Die, the Republic was over with. So everything else after that was fraud. The Lieber Code came in 1863 with the Emancipation Proclamation. Fraud. See, that's how these people looking at it. You took my property and freed it. You took my, that's like Trump making an Emancipation Proclamation to free everybody, free the conveyances of everyone. And everybody cars just take off like, yeah, I'm free. You know, that's how they looking at what that Emancipation Proclamation. And they had a civil war. You just gonna take my property? And then you can go in the United States codes right now. Loss of citizenship has to be a voluntary action. So that's like that's like him taking them people and taking them out of being a citizen is like being a slave. It's like being a subject. This is the whole purpose why Moors is coming doing our status corrections, because we never lost citizenship of the Moors nation. We was fooled, we was tricked, which means it was void from the beginning. Ab initio. So in here, Trump, if you know anything about what's been going on with the country and these politics anyway, you know about that dollar crash in September last year. Steve Mnuchin told them people they was gonna run out of cash, and they have, and the Fed been doing repos with them, billions of dollars every day for months now, hundreds of billions of dollars for months. So we already know it's finna be, it's a slow inflation going on until it become a hyperinflation. So it's all about surviving, preparing and surviving. So these people broke, what I'm trying to say. Been broke. So Trump is saying that in this order, I ain't gonna read the whole thing. Now you can go look it up. Look up his order on citizenship and the census. Just type that up on Google and it's gonna pop up. He ain't talking about aliens need to be self-sufficient. Like they don't need to be using the federal benefit, the federal public benefit as an incentive to come to the U.S. See, they trying to kick off all the leeches. He say the only one who need to be using this is qualified aliens. So now they making everybody pick a side. Now he's saying they wanted to put a citizenship question on the 2020 census, but the court didn't allow it. So he making a agency to collect data for the 100% of the citizens, 100% of them birth certificates. It's gonna be labeled as a citizen, one way or another. Whether you do it or they gonna do it. So this is what Moors feel like they act like they done read a couple codes, and they mind, they thinking this what it's supposed to be, this what the code say, so I'm good, I ain't gotta do it. See, it's a difference between what's supposed to be and what's happening. It's a whole de facto. The reason we call it de facto is because that's what it is. They running stuff and it's bogus at the same time. They not doing stuff de jure. If it was this year, we wouldn't have a gripe. We would have everything we want. But Trump in here talking about the only people who's gonna be able to use that estate is qualified aliens. But you gotta label yourself. You gotta let us know who you are so we can change the policy. So that's what he's saying in this executive order. Now, if it don't matter, and like I say, these is my translations of what's going on in world politics. And I'm looking at his actions of tearing up commerce and redirecting stuff. That's how, like, I don't look at the words of somebody the same way I look at Trump, and the same way I look at Moore. Like, I don't look at his words neither. I'm looking at what he's doing. I judge everybody like the same. What we say, nature's God, nature's law, right? Everybody get the same math. It don't discriminate, you know. So when you hear Moors like me, nah, we don't look at none of them. Like, I don't like Trump, I don't like Obama. Like, I don't feel a way towards none of them. I look at all that is foreign to me. It don't even matter to me. That's like you looking at, that's like majority of our people, we'll see something on world news about something that happened over there. You don't even really care about it. The only reason why I gotta pay attention to it is because, you know, it's affecting our reality. Other than that, I wouldn't even care. You know, that's their government, you know. So basically we getting treated because we think we the person, the corporation. Now, I keep telling y'all, keep telling people the person is your slave. It is a slave anyway. Go look up the IRS manual definition for the word infant. I don't have it up here right now. I don't really want to waste time trying to find it. But go look up the IRS manual definition for the word infant. It's a decedent or an owner of an estate. Just to sum it up in a nutshell. You either the dead person or you the owner of the estate. So you either, if you think you the corporation, you dead. That's why they call us black. Black mean dead. So you either the owner is the heir. We really the heir unconditional. So we really the owner. You either alive or dead. Which one are you? So they saying when you was born, they saying it was another infant. They saying it's a natural person and they saying it's a legal person. They saying it's two different infants. You either the dead one or the alive one. Which one is you? Our people call ourselves black. Our people call ourselves minorities. Look at our culture. They call it dead culture. We champion, like don't even get me started with that. I'll be gone with that, with our culture. And then we stiff arm facts. This is why people don't care about giving us whatever treatment, because people like we in information age now. But we'll stiff arm. Our people will put belief. We'll put the feminine principle up as a shield against the masculine principle, which is facts. See, we need to, when they want to say, well, you have your belief, and no, it don't go like that. You got to be able to explain this stuff. We can put beliefs to the side and get straight to facts. Because when you get in court, it ain't gonna be what you believe ain't gonna save you. It's gonna have to be fact. What's the record? This is what our people don't understand. They think we tripping because we talking legalese and everyday talk. No, that's because the public is the record. If we ain't in our own, even if you in your own house, somebody can make a record. If an incident happened now, wherever you at, it's the record. So that's what Trump talking about in that. Now, I know that ain't enough proof for a lot of people. Let me start going to proof now. You know, I like to overproof people. I don't like to leave a doubt. So the people can know. Whoever come back after this trying to talk against this, you already know who they is. Now watch this. Go look up Illinois House Resolution 0689. Or you can look up the Rahm Emanuel letter paying homage to the Moors in Chicago, December 2011. But look that up. That's in Illinois General Assembly. It's gonna look like you looking at some Moors literature. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna have our history in there, and that Prophet Noble Ali came to be the first patriot to save the mentally enslaved Moorish Americans that got, emancipated from slavery after the 13th Amendment. See, they not gonna disrespect our people and call them black, but they gonna tell you the same history that you learned. They gonna say in 1865 and all this. They gonna tell you that same history that we think is black American history, but they gonna say we mentally enslaved Moorish Americans. They gonna have honesty. They know what time it is right now. See, it's a canon. Go look up canons and prophecies of Noble Drew Ali. Look at some of these canons and prophecies so you can know what time it is. It's a canon in there, or a prophecy in there that say, if the European be just, they'll have, it say something to the effect, they'll have an Asiatic president and a European vice president. And they just had that. So it's like, and then it's another one that said, they'll seek peace, but none should be found. Like, we so far gone. When you read Clock of Destiny 1 and 2, it tell you that the European, the Patagonian blondes, or these Caucasians, the women, they want to tell the truth now, but they know that our people so far gone, they not gonna believe them, So, and the prophet did say, I'm gonna make the European tell the truth. Like, pay attention. So look at all these laws they fake laws they got in their system. This just one of them for Illinois. And they say they honoring the prophet and giving saying it's Moorish American Week from the 8th. We would be in it right now. You can read HR 0689 and see that he talking about our people, but he just not calling them black. And if that ain't enough proof, which it might not be for some people, go Google the PDF, citizenship of the United States, expatriation, etc. And go to page 66. And then go down to about the middle of the page. And it's talking about the status of the free Negro. And y'all know the free Negro now is the free black today. And it's basically saying that it says a citizen in its largest sense is any, and they talking about a 14th Amendment. So they talking about that piece of paper. Any native born or naturalized person, remember that word person, who is entitled to full protection in the exercise and enjoyment of the so-called private rights. He declared the free Negro to be such a person. See, it's under United States protection, which is also a violation of Article 20 of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship that we got with these people. Cause what? The free Negro, the black, y'all don't they vote? So what nation is you? A nation don't got a treaty with itself. So it's a treaty of peace and friendship between Morocco and the United States. Go look it up in the Statutes of the Laws of the United States. Statutes at Large, Volume 8. It's in treaties. It's in there. So we got a nation. So how the hell we become U.S. citizens? This is where Temple Moors get stopped in their tracks talking to me. When they got that on their card. Like, ain't nobody explained it. I've been asking it for a minute. And people want to talk to me in my DMs, but don't nobody got an explanation. Because the Republic was adjourned sine die in 1861, which means it was dissolved. 1871, they came with a corporate constitution for the District of Columbia doing business as the United States. This stuff, these dates y'all need to remember. Because people are trying to gloss over this stuff. They're trying to gloss over this stuff like it didn't happen. Make them explain it. You gonna get crickets, or they gonna get mad trying to out-talk you. They gonna try and act-talk you. So these things happen. Also, while I'm up here, the Civil Rights Act. Civil Rights Act, 1866. Remember, after 1861, everything, the Republic gone, so everything else fraud. And all this got to do with this color game we playing. The Republic gone. So everything, so the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, fraud. You ain't emancipated nothing. We was considered property. That's unconstitutional. People property secure, right? Persons and their property. That's which article is this? I don't know it right now offhand. But you gotta look at it in a legal sense. Because one of the things about being a Moor is we upholding that free national constitution. It's about rights. This is why we handling the affairs of men. Men have rights. Persons got benefits, privileges, you know. So, also on that page 66 in this citizenship PDF, if you go down up under that, it's gonna start talking about, it's gonna start telling the history about how we ain't come from off no damn slave ship. And it's the bombshell our people need to get over. Like, get over it. Get over that. Get over the slave name. Like, or stop asking for rights. See, this is why I say in the beginning, like, don't take my thoughts and put it on nobody else. Because my thoughts is more black and white than most people. I'm more, you know, either this or that. Like, I want to give them the analogy I told you a couple days ago about the, but I don't want to offend no. I don't want to offend nobody.
Let them make it. Let them make it.
You know what I'm saying? But it's talking about, look, I'm just gonna read it to you. Like I said, y'all can go look at it for yourself. Page 66. Negroes born in the United States and free by the laws of the state. They tell you right there, you only free by the laws of the state. Free by the laws of the state in which they reside are in a different condition from aliens. Now, alien, I just told y'all about qualified alien. 8 U.S. Code 1641 definitions. See, we not citizens or nationals. We alien to the whole United States. But we got a treaty with them. That's why I say, how is you a citizen now? It's us, the treaty, and them. The treaty separate us. We alien to them. We only operate through treaty. Article 6, supreme law of the land. Article 3, diversity. See, this free national constitution is for free nationals. It's not for you if you think you the person. You got to be a national. How you proclaim your free national name and religion? What is it? Because if you black, all right, where that's from? What flag that is? And this ain't, like I say, we not even, when it's talking black, it's not even talking about you. Like, for the people who getting offended, it's talking about your estate. It means basically your estate dead at sea. Go look up the Sister KV Trust Act, 1666. They basically say if you don't claim this estate by the time you 7, you dead at sea, in the sea of commerce. See, we dealing in maritime admiralty law. So in this, let me read this to you. The rest of this, it's talking about the Negroes in a different condition from aliens. Because aliens know they not the property of these people. The Negroes is under their protection. Now, Article 20 of our treaty with them say, any citizens of the United States, comma, or any persons under their protection. So after that comment, they took care of the United States. If you are more, you got your person under their protection, you got your corporation under their protection, then the council shall decide between you in disputes. That's in our treaty. We told them they got jurisdiction over you, even though they relinquished it, you know what I'm saying, according to the U.S. code. But if we trying to enforce the treaty, we trying to enforce the treaty. So why is your person, why your estate over there with their nation? Why we ain't got all them persons? Why we ain't took them over to our nation? Why we ain't eating off of them? So it say they in a different condition from aliens, because aliens know who they is and they acting accordingly. It say they are natives but not aliens. It's saying the Negroes are natives but not. How you native if you came off the slave ship? See, and this what this census finna do. This what this census finna say, okay, if you black, then what country are you from over there in Africa? So now you finna go run and do a one of these fake I ain't gonna say none of the names. Right, you gonna one of these heredity tests, and then you gonna be talking about I'm from Ghana, and you basically just did you a nationality correction. You just did you a status correction on the census, cause Trump talking about he want to know the citizenship. So this your nationality. If this is your country of origin, because on the 2020 census they want to know race and origin. Okay, so I'm in 18 U.S. Code, Section 9. And I'm going to a part that says vessel of the United States defined. The term vessel of the United States as used in this title means a vessel belonging in whole or in part to the United States or any citizen thereof, or any corporation created by or under the laws of the United States or any state, territory, district, or possession thereof. So a citizen is a vessel of the United States. So this is what we talking about with these straw men. These straw men is vessels. It's like having a vehicle to ride in commerce. Like, and this how I interpret Quran questions for Moors, when you got the prophet with fallen humanity, 1 foot on land, 1 foot in the commerce. But but fallen humanity falling because she naked. She don't got no clothes on. You gotta, like, we had to get them free national principles. We gotta clothe ourselves with the knowledge. So now we ain't just going out in commerce as the slave, thinking we the slave. But that's what that social security number is. It's a slave number. If you look up, if you get a Black's Law Dictionary, you look up slave, it's going to talk about somebody whose services is owned by another, basically. If you look up master, one of the definitions is going to be employer, superintendent, somebody who basically is managing somebody else's services. So like your job, that's a slave master contract. And you basically signing your vessel out, your slave, to the company. That's what's happening. Now, by your vessel having a status of black, it has the lowest status of all the slaves. Even the white vessel is a slave, but it has the most privileges in this game of this color game. That's why we get the term white privilege. Why it ain't just white rights? Because they asses got treated last year by Trump. See, he's showing, this is why I like what he doing. Damn him, the personality. He's showing these people the reality. He remind me of Agent Smith in The Matrix, when he started tearing it apart and making it back into the dark, rainy world that it was when Morpheus showed Neo, the real world. Like when he had them government employees working without no pay, slavery, and they was Caucasian, thought they was white. See, now it's coming to get the truth done caught up with everybody now. So it's really like mental slavery right now. Like your mental is going to determine the outcome. Free national principles and power. Because a lot of people don't forget the power. A lot of people know about the principles and scared to death. Ain't going to do nothing. And now they come and hating on people like, me for doing the work, because they think the intention is something that it ain't. But I just want to show you 18 U.S. Code Section 9, vessel of the United States. If you think you're a color, if somebody asks you what are you, and it's not a nationality, it's not nothing that translate to a nation of people, into a piece of land, into a flag, you mentally enslaved. You think you the name. You playing the color game. And not only is you playing the color game, you in dishonor. You in violation. You know what I'm saying? And you trying to force your slavery, your mental slavery on other people. This how they looking at it. Like, I don't want to disrespect you, but you forcing it on me. You trying to put what you believe with my rights that I done profess with my free national name, And the prophet done already gave the divine warning. You gonna be classed as an undesirable. You know what I'm saying? You gonna be looked as a kafir, basically, ungrateful. And look who paying all the taxes. The 3/5 slaves. Everybody else got a treaty. Now the difference between it could be say it was me and somebody look just like me, but they think they black. Now we both look at each other the same and differently at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We both look at each other the same as he probably gonna be looking at me like, man, who he think he is? Because he looking at me as the same potential as him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Who is him to think he can do this or say this and this, that, and the other? I'm looking at him the same but different as, why do he think like, don't he know he can do this and do that and do this? Why, like, just look at the facts. Let's take emotion out of it. Let's leave the feminine principle over here. Let's deal with the masculine principle. If you say you know what I'm saying, that's true, prove it. Because I can prove what I'm talking about. And then, like I say, they either gonna start an argument or they gonna crickets, be quiet, disappear. It's like turn the light on. The dark is not a struggle. The dark don't struggle when you turn the light switch on to stay in the room. It's just gone. Once facts come, dark, it just can't even be there no more. It's just, everything stopped. So this what, like, if you knew when you trying to get in the movement and it's confusion, that's what's going on. So I'm different. Everybody talking about unity, and yeah, I want unity as well. But to me, I'm looking at it like as one whole body. The Morris community is like a body right now that's sick. So everybody want us to keep eating. You know what I'm saying? Keep eating. No, everything stop right now. Everything gotta stop. You know what I'm saying? Until the dead carcass is cast out. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it's going to unify. And what I mean by that is people talking about unity, but only under their umbrella. You only can do it like this. You only can do it. So I'm saying, I'm thinking tribes, like it was back then. You don't like this government? Okay, join this. Get the government you like. Get up under the government you like, and then let's come together. Let's get organized first. You know what I'm saying? And then have representatives, and then we can vote on something. Instead of somebody saying, I made this, and if y'all don't come up under me, y'all ain't, and all y'all in fact. Because I done seen so many groups that saying we the only one recognized, and this type, like, so, like, we'll never come together like that if everybody think they finna be the head honcho for everybody. Because that's one thing about us in our nature, we don't want nobody over. It's ourself, law and master. Everybody is a king in his own castle. So we talking about stuff that got our people enslaved, and it's this mentality that we are this name. We don't know that we've been hit over the head, that we the Haram Abif, you know what I'm saying, that's being talked about. That we the one that's in the shallow grave, but it's still life there, still signs of life. Let me see. Now this commerce we dealing with, that's the new slavery. The slavery is the taxation. Now you go read Divine Warning, he gonna refer to 1774. 1774 is when the Acts of Association came out, when these people say they ain't want to be taxed and they ain't associating with Britain no more. You know, we ain't doing no more commerce with you. Since you taxing the molasses and the sugar and all this type of stuff, we ain't messing with. So the slavery is the taxes. Because think, if you go work on your slavery job, you get $500 a week. Out of that week, you done got a ticket for $175. That's tax. Give me that. That's that time you was there working, gone. Slavery. You know. Not to mention the taxes you pay, property tax. Give me that. You know, it's 1,000 taxes. You know, insurance tax and tax when every time you buy food, and baby mama tax, and you know what I'm saying, black tax, and all type of stuff. They gonna tax your ass. You know what it is. That's the slavery. Now all the time, that's if you think you black. Same time, looking same just like me, not thinking I'm black, knowing I'm a Moor, and saying, yeah, I got a treaty of amity and commerce that make me what they call a qualified alien to even use the number if I want to. But a treaty of amity and commerce, which means I can do all the commerce I want. I'm good. I gotta go through a couple procedures though, but I can be shielded. See, I can clothe myself with something to go in that commerce with, and maybe save a couple people and bring them back to the land, you know, because that's the whole purpose. That's the purpose of the mission. The purpose of the mission is to make masters. It's the reason we going around talking about ourselves law and master. We all supposed to be around here learning law, making sure we don't injure nobody else or their property, and then doing whatever we want to do. Just create, you know what I'm saying? And teach others. Let's proliferate the nation. Let's unite Asia, you know. Let's civilize everybody, you know. So this is what it's all about ultimately, because it's like a yin yang. Like everybody, I hear a lot of people talking about balance, right? But when they see what would be considered the negative side of this balance, it's always, you know, a negative reaction. Like if it's balanced, that means you can get it this way, or you can get peace, or you can get war. Like it is a time to use this other side sometimes. So like let me see what else I can show. I think I pretty much shown enough proof to show people they not the name and we not black. It's even in they law. And I like using they law because, you know, a lot of times, you know, we done been conditioned not to believe people that look like us. And then a lot for Moors beginners who got all this paperwork and ain't really read it. You need to get into this treaty, because I see a lot of posts like the stuff happened with the Iran, you know, bombing and all that, and then everybody was talking about Iran this, and you know, as if, you know, if they came over here, we gonna jump in. Our treaty don't say that. Our treaty say when they at war, let them how they war. We ain't taking a side. Like we our own nation. We can't I know what it be though. Moors is really scary. That's what it really done came down to. That's what it really done, because when you look at our literature, if somebody reading our literature, they gonna think all us is, you know, like the Moorish Rambo. Independent, fearless, upright. You know, it's hard to get this garbage in between the ranks of the Moors, and it sound like, you know, the introduction to the X-Men or something coming on. Then you see the Moors and they just, you know, it's like, man, you like for real? Like, damn. Y'all ain't never seen this, like regular literature. Like, y'all can't be reading. Like, it's church in this thing, and I ain't trying to offend nobody. But we gotta read this literature. Because when they call you on it, like you held responsible for it. Even the prophet said in the canon, I don't hold you responsible except for everything after me. You know what I'm saying? So now you going around talking about you a master. You got all this paperwork on the record. You making threats, talking about liens, all this. Now what you gonna do? What you gonna do when these people talk about, well, why you got your estate over here? Why you got your estate still labeled black? You know? And you like, well, y'all are de facto. I don't do nothing with y'all. Who out the band, but all the time you got all these credit cards, and then you working the job under the straw man name. Like, which one is it? Cause you can't like this what be making me frustrated sometimes. Well, it don't be frustrated, it be making me get animated sometimes. Like Moors want to tell me as if, yeah, that'll slave back into slavery, but they got all the credit cards in the straw man name. All the mail coming the straw man name. Been to court under the straw man name. Like, your kids got straw man. Like what is we doing here? Right. Like what y'all think y'all Clark Kent or something? You gonna be the straw man, don't nobody know, and then when it's more time, you gonna turn into Super More on Facebook. Like I don't be understanding. It's like conscious people just looking at you like the kid with the chocolate chips on his face that's acting like he don't know what happened. Like please, man, like cut it out. And these be people grand sheiks coming at you with this. Yeah, we know the correct naturalization process that's gonna get you reckoned. Naturalization? I'm like, you don't know about 8 U.S. Code 1448? To naturalize, for more to naturalize, they gotta renunciate their Moorish nobility. You don't know about that? Crickets. Oh, look, I ain't got time to argue. You know, stuff like that. They want to get out of there. I know that fire hot. You know, and I'm the type that I'm gonna go ahead and expose you. Since you tried to send me off, I'm gonna go ahead and put you out there. I'm gonna give you your change. I call that getting you back your change, because you already, you know what I'm saying, done paid for that. So I'm gonna take this with you. You know, and there's a receipt, tax exempt. You know, I ain't charge you that. Take that back. They be mad. I be trying to tell people I'm so fair with it though, because I'm not like people think I'm against the temple. I know it's some good Moors and good temples. This might be hard to find. I ain't seen there yet, but yeah, I know it gotta be some. Come on, man. But I'm saying this, it's dirty Moors everywhere too. Shit, I ain't like, you know what I'm saying, covering for nobody. I'm gonna be fair about it. It is what it is. That's why you got to caveat the prophet synced it. They was there with, you know, where he was at. Caveat emptor. He trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying, without having to, you know, just put it out there blatant. You gotta buyer beware. Who is you buying into? Because you're supposed to have a circle 7. It's supposed to be 5 senses plus intuition and insight, and you trusting in your feminine and your masculine principle. You know what I'm saying? They working together. It ain't supposed to be every time you come into a confirmation, all facts, you gotta go check with Grand Sheik. You know what I'm saying? Your circle 7 gotta get confirmed by his circle 7. Let me see what he got to say about this. When you seen the facts, like, it's a difference between getting advice and then holding somebody as God. As man unfold, as God unfolds. So you're going to be in certain situations that choice is going to be made depending on which force you think is the best. Which is the greatest force to go with. You know, who I'm going to follow. You going, and it's going to be exposed. And like I said, free national principles and power. That power make a good difference. Like I keep telling people, I got 2 gun ordinance cases dismissed with the help of these brothers. Mine stay still labeled, but I'm in the process of trying to get it changed. Mine still labeled black, but the force that was emanating when we was going to court, it helped the situation. It helped the situation get done, because that situation got another case dismissed. Like, that was the force we was coming with, because it was like we was ready. We was coming to every court and we was ready to go. And it went all the way up to trial. Well, like I said, the estate not even corrected, but we got the result we wanted. because of the force, free national principles, and power. We wasn't around here scared. You got a lot of Moors getting scared. They get in the case, they get in there. These people tell them a couple lies. They don't correct them. They don't rebut tacit acquiescence. Now they scared and got people forcing them to use the straw man act. Now they in there answering to it. You getting intimidated to contract. See, I be telling people, like, sometimes you gotta look like, I look at this like a street person. You can't tell me you from the street and you done sold all these many kids and worked your way up from there and you ain't never been in jail. Like, you can't tell me you enforcing all this constitution and you ain't got no proof. Either you done been to jail, or you got some court paperwork, or you know, something like the conversation gonna reflect. Like, where the proof at? Prophets say all Moors is active, not passive. You know what I'm saying? So people need to be having proof. This the only way you gonna know. This the only way you gonna find out. This what guide me on my direction on how, cause I got experience now. I know what to do now. Oh, okay, this de facto. Oh, okay. That mean I gotta do a couple de facto processes to get this de jure concept that I want. I gotta make a boat to ride in this sea, cause they not going by the law of the land. I gotta make a boat so I can ride in the sea, and then when I come back to the private, when I come back to the house, to the private, to Morocco, I'm back on the land. You see, he got a foot on land, he got a foot in, and he got clothes on. Mm-hmm. He ain't naked. He can go in there and come out. You know? So these is, like I said, this is my interpretation. And I use movies a lot. I can use the movie The Matrix. Neo, when he woke up, he was his free national name. He wasn't Mr. Anderson no more. He was out the Matrix, he was Neo. In the Matrix, he was Neo. I'm gonna leave that old Mr. Anderson stuff. I'm gonna leave that there. I'm Neo now. When I come in this Matrix, I'm flying around. These rules don't apply to me. I'm a qualified alien. I can fly in this Matrix. Y'all know what I'm saying? Walking around. When I'm in the private, I'm on the, know what I'm saying? I'm in Morocco, in Zion or whatever. You know, that's how I be looking at them movies. Let me see. Any more documents I can get into? Okay. Now the reason I got this Civil Rights Act 1866 up here, because it's around that period of 1861 when they overthrew the Republic. You gotta look, all this stuff is fraud. All this stuff after 1861 is fraud. So this, and then in this Civil Rights Act, they saying the Indian, they not including the Indian as a United States citizen. Now if you go look up a Civil Rights Act of 1968, they got a whole section for them now. But it's exempt from people who have religious organizations. Like Moorish Science Temple is a religious organization under the Religious Corporation Act. So the reason I brought this up is because in this 1866 Civil Rights Act, they saying that they making all persons U.S. citizens. Basically supposed to be freeing the blacks after 1865, which is unconstitutional because you're making all corporations, you taking people property, changing it over. Supposed to have been giving them rights, really made them paper slaves if they unconscious, if they think they the paper. So this is basically this is the basics to what we need to understand. So it's a lot more documents, a lot more legalese that need to be learned. But this is part of the basics, and you got to go through progression. You can't get too much. Learn the basics. Because first we got to get through that we not the name. Then you got to know who you are. You got to read some of these documents. Once you read some of these documents and you get some of these free national principles, then you got to start looking around, because the light on now. Then you got to start looking around and seeing who are these people in this room with me, because there's traitors everywhere. Like, then you got to prepare. Like, it's a lot of steps that need to be done, and we way behind. So, this should be enough information to get started. Besides this, go look up the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, 1787, 1836. Go look up the Organic Constitution. Go get you some literature, the Moore Science Temple. Do some research. Go look at some of these U.S. codes I'm talking about up here. Go to 18 U.S. code, look at that. Go to 8 U.S. code, look through that. Learn what an alien is. Learn how to relinquish U.S. citizenship. If you change the straw to another straw that's a U.S. citizen, learn how to get that up. 8 U.S. code 1481, loss of nationality, that's your proclamation papers. See, we learning the law and then we working this thing however we want. It's like a video game. We not the body, we the God in the body. Just like the person playing the game is not the avatar, they got the remote. So the law is the remote. So we finna get up out of here. It's your boy Noble, coming from Chicago with the Moors. If you need nationality card services, Moorish American Consulate, Great Lakes. Also, you can go to Amaret. They can handle the business for you as well. We're gonna have more information on some more stuff. I don't want to spill the beans too much, but it's some big stuff going on. Islam, peace. We're gonna get at y'all next time with the next level. Islam.